For years, Angelina Jolie has been seen as one of Hollywood's strongest women. Graceful, fearless, untouchable. But behind that calm red carpet smile, something darker has been brewing. Recently leaked emails have peeled back the curtain, exposing a side of Angelina the world rarely sees. A woman drowning in stress, battling exhaustion, and feeling trapped in a never-ending war with her ex-husband, Brad Pitt. In private, she wasn't talking about fame or fortune. She was talking about survival, about how the pressure of her personal life was breaking her down. In her own words, she said the stress was making her sick with worry. And that's just the beginning of what those leaked emails revealed. Messages that could change everything we thought we knew about Angelina's long, painful fight for peace. In May 2021, Angelina Jolie sent a series of quiet, desperate messages, never meant to be seen by the public. But those very emails have now surfaced in court, laying bare her private battle with stress and emotional exhaustion. In one of them, she confided in her business manager, admitting that the endless pressure in her life was starting to take a toll on her health. Her words were simple but heartbreaking. "I need to remove all stress." It wasn't the voice of the fierce Maleficent star or the Oscar-winning actress. It was the voice of a woman who'd had enough. A mother, worn down by years of fighting. Both in court and in her own home, she went on to say she felt she was getting sick from worry, describing how even the people closest to her were adding to the chaos she was trying to escape. But that wasn't the only revelation buried in those emails. The leaked emails didn't just reveal Angelina's stress over her legal battles, they also uncovered cracks within her own family. One message in particular exposed a raw frustration aimed at her brother, James Haven Voight. She wrote about how she felt taken for granted, saying, "I just give and don't even get a thank you." It was a glimpse into a relationship that for years had seemed unbreakable. After all, James had been by her side through some of the most emotional moments of her life, including that unforgettable Oscars night in 2000, when their on-stage kiss sparked endless headlines. But now, decades later, Angelina's words painted a very different picture. One of exhaustion, disappointment, and emotional distance. It seemed even her closest bond wasn't immune to the growing pressure surrounding her life. Yet, as strained as her family ties had become, that was nothing compared to the storm brewing with Brad. The heart of Angelina's stress wasn't just family tension. It was the bitter, never-ending war over Chateau Miraval, the French winery she once shared with Brad Pitt. What began as a symbol of love and partnership had now turned into a $35 million battlefield. In 2022, Pitt took Jolie to court, accusing her of secretly selling her share of the winery to a rival company, Tenuta del Mondo, part of the powerful Stoli Group. According to Pitt's legal team, the couple had an agreement. If either wanted to sell their stake, they had to offer it to the other first, but Angelina denied that any such agreement ever existed. Instead, she claimed the lawsuit was nothing more than revenge, a calculated move by Pitt to keep control and punish her for walking away. The idyllic French estate that once saw family vacations and wedding vows was now just another weapon in their ongoing feud. And then came the accusation that shocked Hollywood. As the legal war deepened, Angelina made a claim that turned the entire case on its head. She revealed that Brad Pitt had allegedly refused to buy her shares of Chateau Miraval, unless she signed an NDA. But this wasn't a typical business clause. According to Jolie, the agreement was meant to silence her from ever speaking about his past behavior. Reports suggest that this demand traced back to the infamous 2016 private plane incident, the one that reportedly ended their marriage. Though the full details remain sealed, that flight became a turning point in their relationship, marking the moment their picture-perfect family began to crumble. For Angelina, the NDA wasn't about money. It was about control, and her refusal to sign it was, in her words, a fight for her voice, her truth, and her freedom. She wasn't just battling over a winery anymore. She was standing against what she saw as years of manipulation and emotional warfare, and after years of court filings and headlines, the emotional cost began to show. Behind the legal documents and media headlines, Angelina's leaked emails revealed something far more human: a woman on the edge of exhaustion. Her words, "I'm getting sick from worry," weren't just a passing comment. They were a confession from someone physically and emotionally drained by years of unrelenting pressure. Between raising 6 children, managing her career, and facing constant courtroom battles, the weight seemed unbearable. The glamour of Hollywood fame offered little comfort when her private world was falling apart. She wasn't talking about luxury or success anymore. She was talking about survival, peace, and the desperate need to protect her family. More than anything, her focus had shifted toward her children. Friends say she's been determined to build a life that feels safe and stable for them, far from the chaos that defined their parents' split. But even as she tried to rebuild, the never-ending fight with Brad continued to pull her back into the spotlight she never wanted. But as the court drama drags on, one question remains. As of 2025, the war between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt is still far from over. Nearly a decade after their split, the court filings, counterclaims, and accusations continue to pile up, each side fighting for control over what's left of their shared empire. Their divorce was finally, and officially, finalized in late 2024, 8 exhausting years after they first parted ways. But even with that chapter closed on paper, the emotional wounds remain wide open. Their 6 children, Maddox, Pax, Zahara, Shiloh, and the twins Vivian and Knox, are now mostly grown, yet still caught in the shadow of 2 powerful parents whose battle has defined much of their young lives. Friends close to the family say both parents love their kids deeply, but peace between them still feels like a distant dream. And yet, the public can't help but wonder. Behind the red carpets and movie premieres lies a woman just trying to heal. For all the fame, success, and power her name carries, Angelina Jolie's story is ultimately one of pain, resilience, and the search for peace. The leaked emails don't just expose a celebrity scandal. They reveal a human being reaching her breaking point, fighting to protect her sanity and her children in a world that never stops watching. After nearly a decade of battles, one question still lingers. Will Angelina ever find peace, or will this war define her forever? What do you think? Is there still a chance for calm after years of chaos? Or has Hollywood's most painful love story gone too far to ever heal? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories that the world can't stop talking about.